Rusty was a good dog. Every day he waited at the train station. The train station was loud and crowded, but Rusty wasn't scared. He wagged his tail when the train arrived. He watched for his person. Every day the same man got off the train. He was tall and wore a kind smile. Rusty would bark happily. The man would laugh and scratch Rusty behind the ears. Then they would walk home together. The people in the village knew Rusty. They knew he was waiting for his person. They tried to be kind to Rusty. They brought him food and water. Rusty sniffed the food, but he wouldn't eat. He only ate from one spot. It was the spot where his person used to feed him. The villagers were sad for Rusty. They wished he would understand. His person wasn't coming back. One day the train arrived, but Rusty's person wasn't on it. Rusty waited and waited. His tail stopped wagging. The villagers watched Rusty. They knew something was wrong. Later that day they heard the news. There had been an accident. Rusty's person was gone. The villagers were heartbroken. They didn't know how to tell Rusty. Years passed. Rusty never stopped waiting at the train station. He was older now. His fur was grey around his muzzle. But every day he sat in the same spot. He watched the trains come and go. One day a new train arrived. It was loud and smoky. People poured out of the train. Rusty watched them all. Then he smelled something familiar, a scent like sunshine and old leather. A young man stepped off the train. He was tall and strong. He had kind eyes and a warm smile. Rusty's breath caught in his throat. The man looked just like his person. Could it be? The young man stopped in front of Rusty. He knelt down and scratched Rusty behind the ears. Rusty whimpered. It felt just like old times. "Hey, old fella," the young man said. His voice was deep and kind. "Are you waiting for someone?" Rusty licked the man's hand. He wagged his tail weakly. The villagers watched in amazement. Rusty hadn't wagged his tail like that in years. Could this be a new beginning for the old dog? The young man pulled a small bag from his pocket. He poured some food into his hand and offered it to Rusty. Rusty hesitated for a moment, then he took a tentative bite. The villagers gasped. Rusty hadn't eaten from anyone else's hand since his person had passed away. It was a miracle. The young man stayed in the village. He rented a small house near the train station. Every day he would walk to the station and greet Rusty. They would play fetch and walk in the park. Rusty was like a new dog. He was happy and playful again. He loved spending time with the young man. It was like a part of him had come back to life. Rusty never forgot his first person, but he learned to love again. He learned that love can come in different forms, and that sometimes, even after loss, there is still hope for happiness. Rusty and the young man, bound by a shared past and a love for each other, lived happily ever after.